Okay, everybody, we have head coach Brad Brownell. He'll start with an opening statement, and then we will open it up for questions. When you ask a question, if you could please just unmute yourself and then remute yourself after asking. Thank you.
Yeah, excited to be here. Really proud of our team and all that we accomplished this year. It's been a great year under difficult circumstances. Excited to play a team like Rutgers, who has a lot of similarities to us. I think they really defend, get after you in terms of extending their defense a little bit. Good offensive players that share the ball, and a lot of respect for Coach Pike. I think he's done an unbelievable job in the turnaround up there, and they're a very experienced team with excellent guard play, maybe the best defensive center in the Big Ten. So it should be a great matchup, a lot of fun. I know both teams are really going to be looking forward to it. Questions?
Coach, can you speak to life in the bubble so far?
I'm sorry?
Can you speak to life in the bubble?
Yeah. It's different. It's you don't go outside, which is, strange. You get here, I guess we got here Monday afternoon, and, we were basically in quarantine for the better part of 28 hours. They brought meals to you and all that kind of stuff, but you don't really leave your room. And we did finally get to practice last night. We had our two negative tests, got to practice last night, which was great. Everybody was just excited to get out of the room and see each other, and had a short meeting. But it is different. It's hard for everybody because, just being cooped up in a hotel, up until Friday. And then we obviously got the last game of the day, which makes it even a little bit more challenging for everybody involved. I think, it'd be nice to get outside and move around a little bit, but unfortunately we haven't been able to do any of that. So it's pretty regimented.
Hey, Coach, it's David. Kind of piggybacking off of that. When you're in the hotel, are you allowed to have any meetings together in the same room? Do you guys have to stay in your separate rooms? Yeah, and then, now that you've been there and you've had the two negative tests, do you still have to have food delivered? I'm just kind of interested on how all this goes down and the protocols.
No, we once you pass your two tests, now you can meet and you can eat together. We have meeting rooms where we eat, obviously, 4 to a table. So we're still spaced pretty well. We can meet, we had a film session this morning, 30-minute film session this morning. We obviously walk everywhere together. There's really no, you're not going anywhere by yourself. You're going as a group. So players, coaches, we all kind of go together to practice. We all go to the film. We all go to test every day. We tested again this morning. It's very regimented. Guys go back, we had our meeting, then the guys are back in their hotel rooms right now, hanging out, and we'll wait for lunch. We'll all come back down to have lunch, I think close to 1 o'clock. And then I think we got practice around 2:30. So we'll kind of walk over together to the convention center for practice. Then we'll all walk back together and kind of go back and eat, and then back to our rooms again. So it's just, a little bit of Groundhog Day here for the next several days. But, appreciate what the NCAA is doing and trying to keep everybody safe. There's really no contact with teams. You see other teams, but you kind of just, you walk by each other, but that's about it. There's really no contact. And they're trying to keep everybody away from each other. We're all in separate rooms, separate floors. So it's different.
Hey, Brad, this is Will. Going back looking at it from your point of view to the player's perspective, how did you keep them from going stir crazy, staying in a hotel room basically for 28 hours?
Well, there's nothing you can do about it. So, guys are just doing what they do. I'm sure some of them are playing video games. Some of them are sleeping. Some of them are watching TV. They're on their phones. It's just a little bit, this is a little bit of the normal from during the school year as well. Like, guys didn't do a lot during the school year. Now, obviously they could go outside, they could get fresh air. They could go a few places, come to the gym whenever they wanted. And, come and go as they please if they want to go get food at a drive-through or something like that. But, really I think the biggest concern as a coach is you're worried about guys leaving their games in the hotel room, because you're doing this for so many days in a row. It'd be different if it was 1 day or 2 days, but you get here on Monday and you do it until Friday. It's, who knows how guys are going to play. Maybe they'll play great because they're just so excited to be out. But it's hard. It's different, but everybody's doing it. So you just got to manage it as best you can.
Coach, do you have any thoughts on Earl Grant taking the job at Boston College and what that means for you to see him, a coach who was under you, get that job?
Well, I mean, I'm excited for him. He's not really super proud of him and happy for he and his family. Jackie, there isn't a better family, better people. I think Boston College got a great coach, but more than that, they got a great leader and mentor of men. And so I'm super excited for him and his family. I haven't talked to Earl. We, text, but that's it, just to congratulate him. He's so busy and got so much going on. But I'm just really happy for him. I'm proud to see what he's been able to accomplish. He did an unbelievable job when he took over a difficult spot down there at Charleston and turned him into a winner. And I'm sure he'll do well at Boston College also.
Hey, Coach, it's Trevor Gross from CUTigers.com. How unique is Rutgers athleticism? They basically play with 4 big guards and a center. Is there another team that you played either this season or in the past that you can kind of compare them to?
Off the top of my head, some similarities to Florida State in terms of athleticism and size. Ron Harper Jr., Raekwon Gray, some similarities there in terms of just a big, overpowering forward that can really dribble and shoot and make plays. And then obviously the big guards that Florida State's had over the years that Rutgers has. Physically they're very gifted. They play hard. They can beat you off the bounce. They can beat you in different ways. Guard hard. They're a handful. It's that. I guess that's who stuck out immediately when you said that in our league.
Brad, this is Larry. What have you zeroed in on, you and the staff, as sort of I don't want to say concern, but the key element that you guys have to sort of successfully address to win this game?
Yeah, I don't know. There's just one thing. I mean, we're shore up some things defensively to make sure that, we're doing the things that we need to do to be in the right positions to guard them. Offensively, we need to take care of the ball. Got to be strong with the ball. I think they're physical. They get after you. There have been some games where we've turned it over too much. I think we got to be a little more sound there. We've shot the ball much better here recently, so that's been good to see. Hopefully that continues. I think that's a big key in the game is, ability to make shots. And then like rebounding in every game, you got to be able to protect the backboard and finish possessions with a good defensive rebound. Just nothing drastically different than at this point in the year. We're all kind of who we are, and you just your team has to play really well because the teams you're playing are all good. I mean, these guys have beaten some of the best teams in the Big Ten, which are some of the best teams in the country. We've had some tremendous wins against some of the best teams in the country. Both teams, when they play well, they can really be a problem to anybody. Both teams have also not played well at times, and we can get beat. So it's really who executes the best and who handles the situation of playing in a big game the best. What players kind of relax and can play.
Hey, Coach, this is Dick Cox with Lindy Sports and Cox Sports Broadcasting. Just wondering, I saw where one team said that they packed a basketball for each kid to have in their room to keep the ball in their hands and where they could shoot, dribble, and do things like that. Did you take anything special along with you?
No, we did not. It's interesting that somebody would do that. That's great. No, we didn't do that. We haven't done that, all year. The guys are still, able to practice and shoot and do things. So, some days we have two, like tomorrow, I think we're going to have two short practices. Today we're having we had a morning meeting, and then we got practice in the afternoon. So, I think our guys are going to be around the ball enough, plenty. So no, we didn't do anything that drastic.
Coach, I was curious. Sorry, I was working on a story about Virginia and the COVID pause they have. I was curious from your perspective, were you surprised when you had some of those issues, maybe about how quickly fitness level went away? What was your experience with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Fitness level that was a major point of concern, and something we did better the second time around. First time around, probably didn't address that quite as well as I would have liked. Didn't realize it would be so drastic. Thought we did enough, but probably didn't. And there's no question that'll be a challenge for them moving forward. So it's hard. Like it's that part of it is hard, and different guys on your team are affected differently. Not everybody's the same. I think that's the thing you quickly see too, is some guys are much more affected by it than others.
Coach, it's Trevor again. The ACC had 7 tournament teams, which was tied for second with the Big 12. The perception out there all season has been that the ACC is down, obviously, because of Duke and North Carolina not being ranked. But you feel like the conference has gotten kind of a bad rap. I mean, they're as close as they were to getting 8 or 9 teams with Louisville or Duke.
Maybe a little bit. I think it's more that, we usually have 2 or 3 top 10 teams every year in the country, and we didn't have that. So maybe I think our top teams weren't quite as strong nationally as some others, or as they are most years. And so, when you look at it that way, people think the league is down. I think in terms of how many good teams there were, our league was good. There's 9, 10 teams that easily could be in the tournament. NC State was playing extremely well down the stretch. Louisville, I'm shocked that they didn't make it. We still had 7 teams. I mean, that'd be 9 right there. So I think in terms of the depth of the league was very good. We just didn't have a couple teams that are in the top 10. Usually that's Carolina and Duke and Virginia and whoever. But so I think that's why the league was looked at as maybe not quite as strong.
Coach Joe Gorcho from WIS-TV in Columbia. Sorry if you've answered this, got on a little late here, but you've spoken all season just about wanting to get to this finish line and provide this opportunity for your players. Now that you're there in Indianapolis, just what does it mean to you that knowing that your kids went through all this adversity to have this exact experience that you were wanting so badly for them to have going through all this?
First thing it means I got a great group of kids. I've got tremendous group of young men that I'm privileged to coach. They're good basketball players, but they're great people. They're willing to make these kinds of sacrifices, stick together, battle through the adversities of basketball and life, health, all the things that you have to deal with in a year like this year. Again, we led the ACC in all academic team members. I just got great people. We do things the right way here, and I'm really proud of the kind of kids we have. And so when you have those kind of kids, you really want good things to happen for them. And you want them to play in a tournament like this because they deserve it. So that's why I felt this so strongly about this group all year. I knew what kind of kids we had and how hard they've been working, the sacrifices they've made. And so you just want it for them very badly because you want good things to happen for good people.
Probably have time for a couple more.
Brad, this is Larry again. Now that you guys are, I guess, in the bubble test-wise, what does the schedule look like between now and Friday evening?
Yeah, we like I said, we had, breakfast more day. We'll have a lunch here a little while. Then we're going to practice, probably have a little bit short night meeting, or today's Wednesday, I'm sorry. Thursday, I think we get two times. We're going to have use of the convention center in the morning, where we'll probably do some defensive things. And then the afternoon, we're going to get a chance to go to Bankers Life. So we'll do more offensive stuff there and a lot of shooting in the arena, and then Friday will be a long day, anxious day for everybody. And so we'll try to let the guys sleep a little later and probably, have a couple meetings in the day to try to fill some time before a late tip.
Got time for one more question if someone has one.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned just the anxiety of Friday potentially, and you're just giving it some thought right now, but just curious, given how you guys have managed different anxious moments all season, right, between COVID tests and quarantine, does give you at least a baseline. It's like, hey, you know what? I know what kind of works for these guys' mindset. I have an idea of how this might go on Friday, just to keep them loose and ready for a late.
Yeah, I mean, guys are going to be excited to play. It's the NCAA tournament. It's not that. It's just, managing the energy level all day, I think is the most important thing. You could very easily see one of the teams, guys exhausted in the first TV timeout or first 2 or 3 minutes because they're so anxious that you got all that nervous energy. So I think trying to manage that throughout the course of the game, you could also see it through nervous play or anxious play, and I think just trying to get the guys to relax, enjoy the moment, but understand that the best way to play is by mentally being prepared and being able to slow yourself down a little bit. I think when we all get excited and nervous and anxious, we play a little too quickly, and a lot of times that's when bad things happen. So, managing that is a big part of it. We'll talk about that here in the next couple of days. All good?
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thanks everybody.